6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has expressed Pakistan's keenness to expand economic, energy and security cooperation with Russia. Shahbaz Sharif will participate in the 79th United Nations General Assembly session in New York to reaffirm Pakistan's support in fostering global peace. Pakistan has warned the world of serious threat of terrorism emanating from Afghanistan. The Foreign Office has described the election exercise in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir as farcical. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian security forces have transformed Srinagar into a fortress on Narendra Modi's election rally. The third and final T20 international between Pakistan and South Africa women teams will be played in Bulletin tomorrow. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has expressed Pakistan's keenness to expand trade, economic, energy, connectivity and security cooperation with Russia. Talking to the Deputy Prime Minister of Russian Federation, Alexei Overchuk, in Islamabad today, Shahbaz Sharif said he looks forward to welcoming the Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin to Islamabad next month. Welcoming the Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Overchuk and his delegation to Islamabad, he conveyed that Pakistan considers strengthening relations with Russia as an important priority of Pakistan's foreign policy. The Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Overchuk thanked Shahbaz Sharif for the warm welcome and reiterated Russia's resolve to deepen relations with Pakistan. He characterized Pakistan-Russia relations as constructive and mutually beneficial. The two sides agreed to maintain regular contacts. The Prime Minister also witnessed the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Russia and Pakistan. The MOU signifies shared understanding and the desire of the two countries to further strengthen mutually advantageous cooperation in all areas, especially trade, investment, energy, information technology, agriculture, science and technology, and education. Meanwhile, the Russian delegation held a meeting with a Pakistani delegation led by the Minister for Petroleum Musaddiq Malik in Islamabad and discussed matters of mutual interest. Speaking on the occasion, Musaddiq Malik said Pakistan values its relations with Russia. He termed Pakistan-Russia partnership in the energy sector as important. Both the sides affirmed to work together for mutual development. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif will participate in the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York starting from Monday. This was stated by the Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch while addressing the weekly news briefing in Islamabad today. The Foreign Office spokesperson said the Prime Minister, in his address to the United Nations General Assembly, will reaffirm Pakistan's steadfast commitment to multilateralism and express support for the United Nations' role in fostering global peace, security and prosperity. Shahbaz Sharif will also attend several other high-level meetings on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly session. The Prime Minister will be accompanied by the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister, Mohammad Isaghdar, besides senior government officials. Pakistan has warned the world of a serious threat of terrorism within and from Afghanistan, delivering a statement in the United Nations Security Council meeting on the situation in Afghanistan. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Munir Akram, said the 34th report of the UN monitoring team has shed sufficient light on the disturbing dimension of terrorism emanating from Afghanistan. The ambassador termed Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan as the largest terrorist organization in Afghanistan that is conducting almost daily terrorist attacks against Pakistan with full support and protection of the Afghan interim government. He said Pakistan is ready to cooperate with regional and international organizations to eliminate the threat of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. The American President Joe Biden says his country will continue to stand with Pakistan to tackle the most pressing global and regional challenges of the time. Talking to Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Rizwan Saeed Sheikh, in Washington, D.C., Joe Biden said relationship between the two countries remains important for regional stability and security. He appreciated Pakistan-U.S. cooperation in countering terrorist threats. He said the two countries share a desire to build upon their bilateral relationship and strengthen their ties. The American president said both the countries stand united in the face of significant challenges posed by climate change, regional security threats, and global health security. Ambassador Rizwan Saeed Sheikh said Pakistan is ready to enhance its trade with the United States in alternative energy, green technology, industry, digital platforms, higher education, and other areas of mutual benefit. This is Radio Pakistan. The Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch has described the election exercise in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir as farcical. Addressing the weekly news conference in Islamabad today, she said so-called elections conducted in pursuance of the Indian constitution carries no legal value in the eyes of the international law. The spokesperson said relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions clearly state that the final disposition of Jammu and Kashmir dispute will be made in accordance with the will of the Kashmiri people expressed through a United Nations supervised plebiscite. To a question about the Indus Water Treaty, the Foreign Office spokesperson said Pakistan is committed to full implementation of the Indus Water Treaty. She said Pakistan considers the Indus Water Treaty as an important pact and hopes that India will also comply with its provisions. Responding to a question, the Foreign Office spokesperson rejected the acting Afghan Consul General's explanation for not standing during Pakistani national anthem at an event in Peshawar. She said Pakistan considers the act as reprehensible and violation of diplomatic norms. She said Pakistan has conveyed its strong protest to the Afghan authorities on the matter. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the occupation authorities have imposed strict lockdown for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Srinagar. According to Kashmir Media Service, the city was already declared a red zone for drone operations, restricting freedom of movement and assembly. A heavy security blanket covered Srinagar and other parts of the Kashmir Valley, with the Indian troops deployed along roads and special checkpoints. Vehicle checks and intensified surveillance created an atmosphere of fear and intimidation. The locals, including students, pointed out that the lockdown has turned Srinagar into a virtual military exercise, with Modi's visit resembling an inspection rather than a rally. Meanwhile, the senior APHC leader Shabir Ahmed Shah, in a statement from New Delhi's Tihar jail, strongly condemned India's ongoing violations of the international laws in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman says Saudi Arabia would not recognize Israel without the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. During an address to the Shura Council in Riyadh, he strongly condemned the crimes of the Israeli occupation against the Palestinian people. 6 Palestinians have been martyred and dozens wounded in the unabated Israeli strikes on besieged Gaza. The martyrdom toll of Palestinians in the relentless Israeli aggression on Gaza since October last year has now risen to over 41,200. And now cricket, the third and final T20 international of the 3-match series between Pakistan women and South Africa women will be played in Multan tomorrow. The series is levelled 1-1. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.